Hey, Trevor.
What's going on, homies? It is Trevor. Now, let's not waste any more time and get into this discussion. We have to talk about Battlefield 2042. Now, if you live under a rock, you'll miss the fact that the early access of Battlefield 2042 started on the 12th. For anybody that pre-ordered or has Game Pass or EA Play or EA Play Pro, and I have very mixed emotions about this game. Now, obviously, if you've seen other videos on my channel, I was really hyped for this game, and a lot of it died down during the beta. There was a lot wrong, and even though they said it was a couple months old and a lot of it was fixed, I don't really find that to be true, because the early access launch of Battlefield 2042 is still a buggy, glitchy, frame drop ridden mess, and that's on top of some inherently bad oversights. Now, before y'all think that this is just another person shitting on Battlefield 2042, believe me, once we get past all of this negative stuff, we're gonna get into the good stuff, the positive stuff, the stuff that you wanna hear, the stuff that, even though all of these problems are happening, shines above for Battlefield 2042. Here's the thing, I could not wait another day to play this game. So, on my Xbox, I set all my shit to New Zealand. I got to play it a day early. Were the pings a little messed up? Yeah. And the next day, whenever everybody was able to play the game, the servers got better. But now that launch is here, I kind of wish I would have listened to Tom Henderson and got behind the train of letting this game cook a little bit longer, because this game, it's not there. It's not there yet. It's still a buggy, glitchy, horrible mess. And whenever I say a horrible mess, I'm talking about the optimization. I'm talking about the features that should be in a first-person shooter, especially a team-based, OBJ-based first-person shooter that is in every other game at launch, even in the betas and the alphas. It's there, and it's not here in Battlefield 2042. Starting off with the fact that we have no VoIP. Now, if you don't know what VoIP is, it's basically game chat. Now, if you're a PlayStation user, you can hear other PlayStation users that are in your squad. Same thing goes with if you're on PC or if you're on Xbox, but you can't mix and match it. If you're on a different platform, you're not going to be able to hear your teammate, which makes running Hazard Zone completely pointless. Which, by the way, I will say on this side note, because I only played a couple matches, Hazard Zone is an addicting game mode. I was not excited for it in the slightest, but it turned out to be an absolute gem. I'm going to do a separate video on that later on, but for right now, I'm just going to say if you haven't tried Hazard Zone and you're having problems with Portal, which is a big thing that I'm going to talk about here in just a minute, or with standard multiplayer, the only two modes that you can play, try Hazard Zone. If you have a squad, it is absolutely a blast. But if you don't, you and your team are going to get killed. That's just how it is. So try that. Now, moving back to multiplayer, the fact that we don't have voice chat in a game that is objective-based and squad-based, it's just, there's absolutely no excuse for it whatsoever. Now, I know that they're talking about all this hype over the day one patch and how it's going to fix this and fix that. Well, here's the thing. November 12th, 2021, that's the launch of your game. That is the day one of your game. The people that spent extra money and shilled out those pre-orders so that they could have the money up front before anybody even touched the game. That should be your day one right there, because those are your day one customers. Those are usually the day one Battlefield players. That should have been when you implemented the day one patch, because right now you're serving us half-baked shit, and it's completely unacceptable. And then on top of that, you can't even see how good you did other than the after-match rewards that they show you on top of the screen. You can't check your KD. You have no profile that you can overview inside of the game. And then on top of that, there is no scoreboard, no traditional scoreboard whatsoever. I have no idea if I went negative or positive. I have no idea how many assists I have, the points that we racked up as a team. I mean, sure, they show the best squad at the end and a combined total, but it's so minimalistic, and there's no way to keep up with how things are going if you can't check the scoreboard. And the thing is, it seems like such an easy thing to implement, but they didn't. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things. In all-out warfare, you get into a match, you get kicked right back out once the match is over. It happens all the time. For the first couple hours, right after launch, not only did they disable the riot shield for Dozer because it was broken, not only did they have the servers completely shut down for hours during early access that we paid good money for, but they rendered the launch of Portal almost completely useless because of a ridiculously dumb oversight in these custom game modes that the community gets to make. They made farm lobbies, XP farm lobbies. How DICE did not see that coming blows my mind. So what did they do? They put a soft cap on the experience you can get on your character or your guns, what have you, and made it to where if you do bad in an all-out warfare match, you'll still get 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times the amount of experience to go towards your player or your guns than you would in Portal, having a really good game. But at the launch of the game, we need these experience points to unlock our weapons, unlock our skins, our gadgets, literally everything. But if you go into Portal, the only thing you're gonna do in Portal is just have fun. The experience points are going to be very, very minimal. But really, that's on DICE. And if they want people to stick to Portal and have good things to say about Portal, they need to turn this shit around because the game's not in a good state right now. And I'm just hoping that that fucking day one patch is heavenly. And I mean heavenly, because on November 19th, if the game is in the state that it is in right now, it's gonna turn a lot of people away. And a lot of people are gonna be sending that game right back to where it came from. And I don't want that to happen. Not just because I was overhyped for the game, and I'm hoping that it'll do better down the line, but for the fact that even though it was a horrible mess, and even on one of the smaller maps, Orbital, the grass just disappears and turns just to a green landscape with no textures. By the way, console players on the new gen, that native 4K 60 that they're talking about for this game is a cool 1800p with maybe 60 frames per second 2/3 of the time. Let's just say that. Even though it's got a lot of problems at launch, I still had an absolute blast playing this game. The all-out warfare maps, even though they're a little tedious because they're new and they're so large scale and there's so many players, even the maps that I did absolutely terrible on, the experiences that I was able to create within these 2 game modes in all-out warfare, I mean, I had a blast. I didn't get to talk to any of my teammates because they were all on different consoles than I was, but there was still a general sense once you ping an objective that's captured by the enemy, the whole squad jumps in, and it's awesome. It was a great experience. I got so many grenade kills with Sundance and her little smart grenades. Sundance is OP. OP whenever it comes to getting to objectives. If you can get up somewhere high and everybody else has to run 500-600 meters to get to the objective, you can just fucking zoom right over there. You know, all the different times that I was able to fly in, right over their heads, dip down behind them, and get me a 2, 3, 4, 5 piece before they ever noticed me. It makes for some crazy times. And obviously the gameplay that you're seeing right here, this team deathmatch, this is not an official game mode. Free-for-all, domination, team deathmatch, blah, 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 all that, you have to make it in Portal. The only thing that's official multiplayer is Breakthrough and Conquest. But even though you don't get a lot of experience points, once you're done with, the camo, attachment, cosmetic, gun grind, and you just want to chillax, Portal's a fucking madhouse right now. They have these zombie modes that you knew everybody was going to make. They have all these different kinds of traditional and abstract TDM modes, all these cool free-for-all modes, these absolutely ridiculous modes that you've never even heard of, and all of it's good fun. Portal, even if the rest of this game goes to shit, if they can just, fix the visuals and the glitches and stuff like that and buff the movement like they say they're already doing, dude, Portal's it. Portal is it. People aren't gonna give a shit about, attachments for the guns that are in the base game and stuff like that. Whenever they can have 500 plus health 2042 soldiers with just their bare fucking fists going around fighting 100 1942 soldiers with 1 HP and just fucking boom blocking high duking them across the map. It's crazy what people come up with, but Portal is an absolute blast. And I know I did a lot of bitching in this video, but that's because it's unacceptable how this game launched. But because I had so much fun in all of these different game modes, I know that this game is going to be amazing once it's all fixed. My only complaint is that it should have been fixed before the early access launch. And believe me, if it's not fixed on the day one patch here on the 19th, you're gonna hear about it. And I'm not gonna be happy. But all in all, the guns feel great. The specialists are not that much big of a deal as you would think. It promotes individuality. I still had medics helping me. I still had people giving me ammo, even though I was certain that that wasn't going to be the case. And it's exciting. I have a lot of high hopes for this game. But I think I've rambled on quite long enough. I'll have some live commentaries coming later on. Maybe next week, maybe this week, who knows? I'm working on it, and I have so much content that I want to do as far as Portal. For Battlefield 2042, I'm going to set up a bunch of official servers, so any of the people that are on my channel can come and join me. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a great few years for Battlefield, if they get their shit together. But if you've played the game, if you haven't played the game, if you're excited, if you're worried, if you've already got into it and you've got some concerns, or even want to link one of your official experiences, let me know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the gameplay, if you enjoyed the commentary, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you get notified every time I post new content, because I'm posting stuff all the time. Thanks for coming around and checking out the channel. Thanks a ton for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.